Retirement. That's what we're all aiming at, right? But exactly what does that mean? It conjures up visions of endless days of golf, drinks with little umbrellas in them on a tropical beach, feet up, reading a book. Is that what it's all about? I don't think so. Life would get pretty dull after a while without anything meaningful to do, don't you think? I'm Jacquie Doucette, and I'm on a mission to discover exactly what life is like beyond retirement. Join me while I chat with people who've already done it, who've retired to something rather than from something. Let's find out together exactly what's waiting for us when we say goodbye to that 9 to 5. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Beyond Retirement. I'm your host, Jacquie Doucette. Through Beyond Retirement, I help people retire to something meaningful. Maybe that means more purpose, more routine, more joy. Whatever it might be for you, remember that you don't have to struggle alone in the transition to retirement. Let's have a conversation. There's a link to a free call in the show notes. And if you prefer to do some quiet exploration first, I've published a variety of books to help you on your journey. The link to my library is also in the show notes, and both those links are also available on my website, beyondretirement.ca. I look forward to talking with you and to helping make your journey beyond retirement the very best it can be. If you remember last week, I had a really thoughtful conversation with Michael F.K. Michael spent decades working in finance before shifting his focus to something many people don't think about until they're already there: the emotional and identity transition that comes with retirement. His idea of Chapter X really stuck with me. The idea is simple. Once the structured chapters of our careers end, we enter a new phase of life where the script hasn't been written yet. And that's exciting. But it can also be unsettling. Because for many people, retirement doesn't just remove work from their schedule, it removes the identity that came with it. So today I want to explore that idea a little more deeply. What happens when the job ends? And more importantly, who are you when the title disappears? Retirement isn't just a financial transition. Most of the preparation people do for retirement focuses on money. We talk about savings rates. We talk about investment plans. We talk about pensions and withdrawals and financial projections. And those things are absolutely important. But what often gets overlooked is the psychological side of retirement. Work provides structure. It provides social connection. It provides a sense of usefulness. And perhaps most importantly, it provides identity. When someone asks, "What do you do?" most of us instinctively answer with our profession. I'm a teacher. I'm an engineer. I'm a lawyer. I run a business. Over time, these roles become intertwined with who we believe we are. So when retirement arrives, it doesn't just free up time, it quietly removes the label we've been carrying for decades. And suddenly a question appears that many people weren't expecting. If I'm not my job anymore, who am I? That's a moment many retirees find surprisingly difficult. Not because they miss the workload, but because they're navigating an identity shift. Michael talked about how this transition can be especially challenging for people whose lives were built around achievement. For decades, success was measured by progress, promotions, targets, recognition, responsibility. There was always another goal to pursue. Retirement removes that ladder, and without realizing it, some people experience what I call the identity gap. The gap between who you were in your working life and who you are now. And the tricky part is that society doesn't always help with this transition. Our culture celebrates productivity. We reward people for being busy. We measure success through output. So when someone retires, the absence of these markers can feel kind of uncomfortable. People sometimes describe it as feeling unmoored or untethered. Not unhappy exactly, just unsure. And that uncertainty is often interpreted as a problem. But what if it isn't? What if that uncertainty is actually the starting point of something new? Enter Chapter X. This is where Michael's idea of Chapter X becomes so powerful. Think about the chapters of your life up until retirement. School, early career, middle career, family responsibilities. Each stage has expectations attached to it. You followed a general roadmap. Retirement is different. There's no standard script, and that's why he calls it Chapter X. X represents the unknown, but it also represents possibility. This chapter isn't about fulfilling external expectations anymore. It's about exploration, curiosity, experimentation. One of the most interesting ideas we discussed was the importance of reclaiming a beginner's mindset. During our career, most of us spend years becoming experts. We build competence. We develop authority. We learn to operate with confidence. Retirement flips that equation. Suddenly, the most interesting experiences might be things you've never done before. New hobbies, new skills, new communities, new ways of contributing. And that requires something many adults find uncomfortable, being a beginner again. But beginners have something experts sometimes lose. They have curiosity. And curiosity is incredibly powerful in retirement because curiosity keeps life expanding instead of shrinking. So what if we let go of old definitions of success? Another theme that came up in the conversation is the need to rethink success. During a career, success is usually defined by achievement, income, status, recognition, influence. But in retirement, those metrics don't always translate well. The question shifts from, how much can I accomplish, to something more personal. How do I want to spend my time? Some retirees rediscover creative pursuits. Others volunteer. Some mentor younger people. Some explore travel, learning, or physical activities. Others simply slow down and cultivate deeper relationships. The key point is that retirement success becomes self-defined. You get to decide what matters. And that freedom can be both exhilarating and intimidating, because it requires something we're not always used to doing, listening to ourselves. So, I want to leave you with a question, kind of a multifaceted question, I guess, but it's a simple one, and it can open the door for a lot of reflection. If someone met you tomorrow and you weren't allowed to mention your career, how would you describe yourself? Not what you used to do, but who you are now. What excites you? What interests you? What kind of person are you becoming in this chapter? Retirement gives us something incredibly rare. Time. But the real opportunity isn't just filling that time. It's using that time to rediscover parts of ourselves that may have been waiting quietly in the background for years. Michael describes retirement as a transition into a new chapter of life, one that invites curiosity, exploration, and reinvention. And I think that's a helpful way to frame it, because retirement isn't the end of your story. It's simply the moment when you get to start writing the next chapter yourself. And maybe that chapter doesn't need a perfect plan. Maybe it just needs a willingness to explore. Thanks for listening today. I hope you'll join me next time. And if you've got any comments, I'd love to hear them. You know how to do it. And that's it for this episode of Beyond Retirement. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Are you ready to start rocking your retirement? Head on over to www.beyondretirement.ca/rocking it and sign up to plan out your own roadmap for retirement. Don't wait till it's too late.